without him being like a mentor to me and tell me, the do's and don'ts of just real estate in general. But yeah, this for anyone who's again just starting out. This Zooms is only for like deal help. If you have any deals that you have, that you want to run by me in your market or like me or Eric's market, again, we could partner together. I could give you, just tips and tricks that you could do. Again, like that's just how Eric did it for me. Kind of reciprocating that whole thing, just kind of being that mentor, by your side to just make sure you know what you're saying to agents or sellers, or to even title companies. Does anyone have any questions so far? Anything questions for me? Um, Anything that you guys are working on? Generic real estate questions, just let me know. These Zooms are usually open. I just, talk about what I got going on. Um, I just talk about what I got going on, things that I'm doing. You can kind of see me make live calls as well. Or if you, again, are stuck on what to say or what to email people or wholesalers or to connect with other people, how to find off-market leads, I could, help you guys in that aspect as well. Mm-mm. I may have to, oh, not may have to, but I might have to. Let's just double check something here. Because I do have an appointment at 1 for. I guess I'll just go about what I got going on. So essentially, a few months ago, back in like the springtime, I saw a property that was. I forget where I was driving, but it was basically kind of like driving for dollars lead. It was in Clearwater. I live in St. Pete. Like this is, I live over here. I relocated from Pennsylvania, same with Eric, so we're in like the same spot. But anyway, I was driving over in Clearwater. I saw a house. It looked kind of pretty abandoned, but there was actually someone living in there. I skip traced and found out that what her name was. Her name's Susan, all that kind of stuff. She told me she wants to downsize. The house is like almost 2,000 square feet, so she wants to downsize into something smaller. So she just said she would have to make a move sometime in the summer. Fast forward to we're in August, second day of August, and she found a house that we're gonna see. It's a little north. It's like over in like Newport Richey area. Let me just zoom out some more. So I got to drive all the way from St. Pete to like Newport Richey. It's a little bit of a drive, but I got to find out how. It's a nice house. It's pretty much move-in ready. The roof was just put on like earlier this week. Um, so it has everything that she needs. A fence for her two dogs, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I talked to the agent about it. So I told him like, hey, look, I'm planning on buying the seller's house and cash, and then she's going to use the cash to buy your listing here in Newport Richey. And so yeah, he gave me the lockbox for the property. So we're going to see it at 1. Hopefully, I mean, I'm assuming everything will go well, and then maybe in like a month's time we'll close on her property in Clearwater. But yeah, just I think it would take me about an hour. I have to just see exactly the the distance it is from, because I got to end the meeting at 12 and then drive pretty much up there afterwards, which is fine. But yeah, that will be my first if everything goes well and if she likes the property, it'll be my first potential, fix and flip opportunity. Basically, the numbers are pretty good. I probably would buy her property for 290, um, and then put like 70, 75 into it and then resell it for like 520 or 525, around that price. There was a property that was same identical to hers, to the left of hers, sold for 510, same square footage, same style home on the same street, next door for I think it was like a little bit like 510, like about a year ago. So like I'm assuming 520 would be the new ARV, just since it's been a year. Um, but yeah, the numbers would be fantastic. It would be a good return. So hopefully everything works out. Um, Hour and 5 minutes. It'll take an hour and 5 minutes to see the house. But yeah, no, it's pretty. It's again, and it just again, just driving around. I forget where I was driving to in Clearwater, but just saw that house. Marked it on my phone. Went to just something you could. I have PropStream, guys. You could find houses. You could skip trace on PropStream for like 10 cents or 12 cents, whatever it can be. I think it's 12 cents. But if you go on True People Search, which is 100% free, you just refresh my screen here. If you go to like True People Search, you put in the owner's name, their the city, state, zip, the whole address. You hit search. It's gonna pull up all the phone numbers that are linked to that person. So that's free. So that's what I did first, and then I got her number. Again, her name is Susan. Called her. She told me what she has going on. She's a little, I forget how old she, maybe in her 70s or something like that. Just too old to just live in a big house by herself with her dog. She just wants to downsize and get something that's pretty updated and manageable, so she could live out the rest of her life. Essentially, that's what she shared with me. And so yeah, now we're at this point now to where she's looking at the house, and I told her I could also help out with moving, even though I never done that before. You gotta sound confident in what you're saying. So I was say, hey, look, I could, anything you could do to for me to help, I could do. Sorry, I worded that wrong. Sorry. I was like, hey, anything you need, I could do it for you, make it a smooth and easy transition, so you can start your next chapter of your life. So I could help you out with moving. I know a few people, know a few connections. I didn't at the time, but I was able to call a few of my buyers who I deal with in Florida, like in the Tampa Bay area. One of my buyers, John, recommended a moving company. They're really good. He uses them for his for what he has going on with his real estate flips, and yeah, so he recommended them to me. I hadn't reached out yet because I'm not at that point, but if everything checks out with the house, then yeah, I'll start reaching out and maybe we could make something happen here. Any questions here on the story, or if anything else you guys want to share?
I didn't have any questions, but congrats, bro. That's awesome.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, so hope, fingers crossed, everything goes well. So yeah, that's the property itself. Let me just pull it up here. 7926 Berkeley Road. Yeah, so we're going to this house here. So it's like 1,000 square foot smaller than hers, so it's pretty good. Nice. Everything's pretty much brand new. And again, she's just using the funds from the sale to buy this house. So pretty nice. Everything's pretty new. She doesn't have to do anything. Roof was just put on like a week ago. Has a nice fenced-in yard for her dogs. I forget, she has two small dogs. I'm not sure the breed. She told me before, but I forgot. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at it, and it's in a nice, a community. Obviously, it says deed restricted, so there's an HOA. I forget how much the HOA is. There's It's a small, low HOA. I know she wanted like below like a $200 a month HOA. So, so yeah, so everything's pretty good. New AC system here, new roof. So I don't think there'll be anything wrong with the area. Just obviously you want to before doing anything you want to see the inside first, right? And the same thing with cars. You don't want to buy anything sight unseen. There are some people who do that. I have done deals where the buyer has bought it sight unseen because they just felt confident. I had that happen to me most recently in May. So what, like 3 months ago? It was tenant occupied. I was a little forget the whole situation, but basically the seller just couldn't set up a showing or whatever. Both the tenants had weird schedules, so my buyer bought it sight unseen because he's familiar with the area, and he bought the one next door over 2 years ago. So he bought it sight unseen. I made some money. Seller made some money. He's right now it's just a buy and hold for him since it was a 2-unit. So tenants on both sides. But I think his game plan is to later on renovate it. They're both month-to-month leases, which is fantastic. And anyone who doesn't know what a month-to-month lease is, that means there's it's not like, let's say, August 2024 to August 2025. It's a month-to-month, so it's like you have the option to either remove the tenant or up the rent and not have to wait. Because let's say, for example, let's say it's someone signed a lease in June of 2024, and the person bought it and a buyer buys it in August, and that means let's say the rent was $1,200. That means the the buyer can't up the rent or do anything because of that lease. So yeah, they would have to wait, keep collecting rent until June of 2025. Um, or let's say let's say you do cash for keys or something like that, and people have done that before if they want to get the tenant out and to do a flip or whatever, or to renovate the unit a little bit more so you could get more rent. Maybe you could get 1,400 if you put new carpet, new paint, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so this is where I'll be going. I mean, it's a little bit of a drive, but yeah, so I might have to end the Zoom around like 11:50 just to give myself enough time to get up there for one. Um, and I was also yesterday actually there was like a home that was kind of close to my house, um, and it was like over in this area here. And I was just driving in the neighborhood. I pass the house like almost every time, sometimes when I'm driving in that neighborhood. And it just, it's always been like vacant, but the grass is cut, it's like maintained, but I can tell there's no one ever there. I left my card there a few months ago. Haven't received a call back or anything like that, but I was just driving by yesterday and I saw some guy out there. So I thought it was the owner. So I stopped my car, got out. He didn't hear me at first. I think he was doing something outside. I don't know. But anyway, I walked up to him. He's like, "Hey, are you the owner?" He's like, "Oh, I'm not the owner, but I'm just doing some work for him." Um, yeah, I don't know if it was like a friend or whatever. I forgot to ask. But anyway, he's like, "Yeah, he might consider selling. Do you have a card?" I gave him my card. It's like, "Hey, do you want to take a look inside?" Yeah, because I mean, he's getting up. He's pretty like an older gentleman. I just want to do a quick deal if possible, if you're cash. I said, yeah, I am. So I went inside, took a look at the property, which usually never happens. Usually it's just like, oh, they take my card and then that's pretty much it. Talk for like 5-10 minutes and that's it. But we conversated for 5-10 minutes and then proceeded to go inside. So I saw the whole layout of the house. I didn't really have to take pictures because I mean I know it's gonna have to be renovated regardless. Had old flooring, had old wood cabinets. It looks like it hasn't been updated in like 15 plus years. But it was definitely pretty rewarding to actually go to the house and see the inside of it and possibly get a call back maybe this next week. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it was like right over in this area here. But but I would recommend getting cards. I mean, I just got a whole bunch of cards off Vistaprint. You just put something simple like Terrell buys houses. I think I might have one on me. Um, it's like Terrell buys houses, has my phone number, all that kind of stuff. Um, we'll buy it, any condition, something basic like that. I also have on the card like we'll pay cash for referrals. So if there's any, I tell them all the time, if you ever, if you maybe your neighbor, maybe you're not open to selling, but like who do you know in your neighborhood? I pay, for referrals, all that kind of thing. But yeah, so any questions, guys?
Not right now, but I did have one question about a lead that I got on a very motivated seller. He's actually asking for less than what the Zestimate is.
Okay.
Um, so I could give you the address in the chat if you want to kind of look up and kind of see what it's working with. If
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
time, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What's the address?
It is 7405
Hmm.
Keith Road in Warrenton, Virginia. Yeah.
Got it here. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna go to Google Maps and see if there's
Okay.
any like, we can see what it looks like. That's what I usually do. If Zillow doesn't have anything, I'll just copy it.
Yeah. And I talked to him on the phone and he hasn't had any offers in yet. But I mean, the reason why is just kind of driving for dollars and saw it was literally a sign outside that said,
Yeah,
for sale by
I
owner.
see it right here too. Yep. So December 2023 is when the last time that Google Maps passed through here. So pretty recent. So I guess he's had the sign up since then. But yeah, it looks like a okay area.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Small,
about
small.
35 minutes away from DC. So, I mean, it's kind of, I would say it's a very sought out after, area.
Gotcha. A whole big new
But
construction right here too.
yeah. So I think that's what people are doing is like maybe not necessarily the house, but the land is worth a
The
lot.
land value, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So let me duplicate my tab here and I'll see. I mean, I also want to see how big that lot is too. I wonder how it's 50.54 acres. Let me actually go to PropStream and see who bought that property next door because that could
I
be that could
actually, yeah, I actually
uh,
pulled a report on the Fauquier County website, so I could tell you almost everything. I've been looking at it for the past day now. I could tell you when it
yeah,
was
so
bought, who bought it, and everything.
yeah, so this is who bought the property next door. So I guess he bought it for 115 back in 2021. Manuel Martinez. Um, yeah, he bought it for 115. Doesn't have any other information, but he bought it off Donald and Ryan. So I mean, he possibly could be yeah, he could possibly could be roughly the same size lot too. Possibly could be a buyer for you. But yeah, let me look to see. I'll just look at lots in the area that are like pretty much half an acre and see if there's any value in that. Let's say that maybe hopefully other than this one here next door, because I mean I don't know. I mean you have to look at two options here because if there is a big new construction right by it, the house, I mean there might be a buyer willing to do the same thing that this guy did. You know what I mean? Yeah, because this house
Yeah,
looks
for sure,
nice,
for
nice
sure.
single family.
I mean, the asking price that he wants is 240, but again, he does have a lot of flexibility, and his estimate was 251. So I don't know if I mean I don't think that 240 is even close to within range, but
Yeah.
um
Yeah, people always start, usually high here. I mean, I didn't put any filters on. I just did sold in the past. I mean, what do I have it set? Yeah, sold for any. So let's see, because we're a small, like, because this is like, where's this house at? 368. I don't see it here. It's on Keith Road too. It's on Keith Road somewhere, but I don't know where exactly. Somewhere on this road, but obviously it looks a little bit nicer. 368, 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 960 square feet. So this could be a potential fix and flipper. This looks
yeah.
like it was done from top to bottom. Has a basement there. He bought it. I guess he tried listing it again, but sold 368, and then let me see if there's any. No, there's no history before that either. Let me put that in prop stream. Let me see. Uh, oh, I guess it. Oh, I get. Oh, I'm confused here. Hold on. Two. I wonder why there's an A there. Let me try without the A if it's anything different. So it's probably the. So maybe it's weird because I think they possibly bought the house for 166.5 back then in 2020. Surrey House LLC. That's probably was the flipper. But that's all I could really see. Yeah, and then I see the other one like it's weird. I don't know. Odd. Surrey House then sold it to Edwin and Erica for 230. Confusing. But yeah, I don't know why there was like a 7456A. All right, anyway, so there's that. That was on 1.26, so like 1.25 acre. Really not many options here. Let me go to lots around here if there's any recent lots that sold. I mean, this was an acre lot that sold for 120, but I feel like it's all the way back there though. It's hmm, tough to say. I mean, I would think he would be high in price. You said he was asking how much? 240?
240, yeah. And he said that everything it's vacant right now, and he said that there's nothing major wrong with it, like the water, electric, baseboard heating. Everything is fine, but I mean, it would definitely have to be renovated and definitely a fix and flip. But um,
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I think that it's in a good area, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to get your opinion on what you thought about it. It's like, because I went on the or the assessment records on the county website, and they assessed it at 163 to 185 for the first quarter of 2024. So I don't know if that's more accurate than the estimate would be. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I just always look, I just do it by like I always just duplicate. I had the property up, duplicate the tab, and then just kind of run my calculation through there. I never really look at Zestimate. I never look at like what for example, let's say I never look on what the value is on PropStream either. I like doing it myself because they miss out some things, you know, they leave out some things or they forget to put things in when they're running comps, in my personal opinion. So like I just never trust that, or rather just look myself and comp it out. Um, it's just
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean,
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of property sold in the last 6 months. That's why I was like, it was kind of hard to find,
yeah, I mean I
or
go
come to
sometimes
the
a
conclusion.
year. Sometimes I mostly go a year when I do it, 6 months sometimes in areas like this that's not really that populated, it's you're not going to really see any sales. Um, Let me see here. Hold on. Oh, these are just okay. I'll answer you in a second here, Jose, after I finish helping Steven. Um, yeah, it's tough. I really don't know. I mean, I know he's going to be high in price. I mean, land value though. I mean, land value he would need to be less regardless. I mean, 240 is high, and I would say for a flip. I mean, if we're pulling up one that was 368. I wonder how much when that I think that was over a year ago. So maybe it was 2 years ago. Let's go to any again. Because you can make it look nice like that flip that we did see. Where's the second? There's no second page for it. Do I have high to low or oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, I I'm assuming a good buy price would be like in the like low 200s and then reselling for around here. Um,
Yeah.
but it's hard to say. I mean, usually what I like doing sometimes when I really don't know, like I just play. I would reach out to let's say this flipper, try to find
Mhm.
their contact information. So like and again, it was like Surrey LLC or something like that. Yeah, so I'll reach out to
Yeah.
them and see. I mean, here's their mailing address that's linked to their LLC. So I'll click on that, find their information. It's like, hey, look, you put the property over on Keith Drive or Road or whatever, and say, that's it's also owned by this. It's an office building. I wonder how many linked properties they have. 23 linked properties. Oh my God. Might be a little bit hard to find the exact, or you could do, or since it's like that, I would just then, since it was listed, contact David Willis or Wills, and I'll call him up. It's like, hey, David or Dave, my name's Terrell. You recently sold the house on Keith or sold a house on Keith Road 2 years back, like in February, and then kind of see if he remembers, and then go into like, would your flipper be interested in another potential flip in this area in the same
Mhm.
road, and say yeah, and then just run a few details by him and see what he says. That's what I like doing. So
Okay.
kind of where what his mindset is. If the agent wants to give you his contact information, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Uh,
Yeah.
but that's what I would do. But it's kind of tough because there's really not many comps to go through.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that'll be
No,
my
yeah, it also sucked too. The buyer was or the seller was very short. He says if you don't have an offer, don't call unless you're ready to offer. So because I was just trying to get some more information, like what
yeah,
are you living in it? What's what kind of situations going on with the house? And he says
yeah,
if you don't want an offer, don't call me.
yeah. I hear
So,
you.
so
Yeah,
they were
some sellers are like that.
yeah.
He's probably gotten many calls before. I mean, and he's had to sign up since who knows, even maybe before December 2023 when Google Maps passed by. But yeah, he's probably had a lot of window shoppers, so that's probably why he's short with you. Or you got him on a bad day, either or. But yeah, my thing would be just contacting Dave and seeing what's up. I mean, I know the listing was 2 years ago, but maybe he might still remember, and maybe that potential flipper who flipped this one might still be looking to for another one. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
my
I'm
take
gonna
on
I'm
it.
gonna jot down the number you have right there real quick, just so I
Yeah, yeah,
can.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here and
But
then
but yeah, this helps a lot though, because like you said, there's not really a lot to look at, around, so it's hard to gauge what it could possibly go for.
Yeah, yeah, no, when you're dealing in like areas like that, like if it was in like my neck of the woods in Florida, then yeah, like I would have no problem getting comps. But since it's like, you're kind of out there in the sticks, and sometimes you're not gonna have as many sales as you would or comps as you would like, so you gotta do some extracurriculars to get that information. All right, yeah, so I'll look at this house. You got the number, Steven?
Yeah, I'm all good. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, okay, gotcha. All right, Jose, I'm pulling up your address here in California.
Oh, that'd be
Um,
good.
let's see here. If it's foreclosed, it's pretty much it's in pre-foreclosure. So pre-foreclosure is before, there's some time here to still
Yeah.
possibly help these people out.
And I find them like that, but then if you scroll down, see, I'm new at this, so I'm trying to figure out if I'm reading it right. It'll show like the dates, foreclosed notice sent or something like that, or given. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, does that mean it's foreclosed, or does that mean I still have a chance here?
I think I don't see where you're seeing that. Where you're saying in here in the overview, it says
No, if you go
further
further down
down.
a little bit, somewhere there, where like it shows more information and it'll say something about a foreclosure date or filed or something. Let me see. Up a little bit. Oh, hold on. Mm, yeah.
Mm, No, I don't see.
Go up a little bit. I think
Oh, I see. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that right there. What
So
does that mean?
notice of default. No, so that's when they got notified that they were behind.
Okay, so that doesn't mean that it's
No,
over then, right?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Nice.
So yeah, so even and I'll double check. I'll go on PropStream right now and see, but I think you should still be okay here. Um, pre-foreclosure details. Yeah, so this is the again note. So the recording date. So I don't know what NLD notice of default. Sorry, one
Yeah.
sixteen 2024. We go to, let's say, Zillow here. We see sorry, we see, where is it at? I just had it up. We see 117. So I mean,
Yeah.
props team said 116. But and then I see another recording date here saying 410. Um, I think you still might have a chance. I don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, the only way you really know for sure is if you call, let's see the Alejandra Salazar and see what the situation is. But you would have to just call and, say, like, just treat it just like a regular cold call, like, hey, is this Alejandra? And you'll say yes or no, or I mean, it's A, so I guess it's a girl. So
Uh-huh.
um, yeah, if it was an O, then it would be him. But anyway, so yeah, we would, reach out to her, see if she would answer. Then if it's actually her, then just treat it just like, hey, like, how you doing? I buy properties over here in Silmar, California. I saw you had something on Gladstone Avenue. Would you be open to selling that property by chance? And then seeing what she has to say.
Okay.
That's what I would do. That's how I treat all my pre-foreclosures.
Hmm.
Um, Same with probates too. I mean, those are just two touchy subjects. I mean, probates are dealing someone obviously, passed away. So you got to try to find out it's kind of like be a detective and see what the whole situation is. Was there a
Right.
will in place, all that kind of stuff for pre-foreclosures, you got to find out, like, how much, if the seller knows the estimated, like, how much they're behind, the amount, or even the total balance, and what they want to do. You guys looking to start? Are you trying to, do like a loan modification? Or this is when you get to conversating more with them. But like,
Right.
what are you trying to still keep the property? You're trying to just, cut your losses. I mean, I could try to help you the best way I can and take it off your hands, blah blah blah. And then see what the seller says. But that's how I usually treat my pre foreclosures.
Okay. Where do I get the number from? Is it something I guess I have to research because it wouldn't be on any of these pages, right?
Where would you get what? Her number?
Yeah, like a phone number to contact
Oh,
her.
yeah, yeah. So you would just go to True People Search. So I would copy this address here. I'll go to truepeoplesearch.com. It looks like this. It's 100% free. You
Hmm.
put in the address here, then you would have to go back to PropStream or whatever to put in her name, Go back to cheap people search.
Okay.
Hit search that little thing there. Sometimes you might have to. There's a few other names. Sometimes a middle name, middle initial helps. I don't know if there is one or not. C. So there's right here Alejandra C. So I'll put that there and see if that helps. All right, I see Arizona. So sometimes then at that point, then I guess you wouldn't need the Gladstone Avenue. Get rid of that. Hit enter again. And then it should come up now. No match. Okay, I see here, but sometimes it does this, and you're pretty much out of luck.
It could be
Let me
that
see.
right there, but it doesn't show a number, huh?
Yeah,
That one,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
Alejandro Capilla or whatever, yeah.
See if there's a. Yeah, I guess that might be her. I think she might skate. I mean, let's see if there's another name that's linked there. It's probably just her name. Yeah, it's just her name there. Let me see if I put in. Yeah, it's only. Yeah, I would have to. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, unfortunately, you would have to, and because when it gets to like where the point where you see it, but you can't really do anything. Yeah, you're kind of stuck unless you pay for it. Like you go on PropWire, you could do it that way, but you would have to pay 10 cents for it.
If not, I'll do what you do. I mean, it's close enough to where I live. I can go over there and
Oh
knock
yeah,
on
yeah.
the
Go over there and knock
door.
and see what's up. Yeah,
Right.
that's always good too.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I just I hadn't done anything because I thought I wasn't sure if I was reading them right, and I thought I think I'm too late, and I might go knock on the door and it's new tenants or something, or somebody that just took over. But I was misreading that. I thought I was too late just based on that date there.
yeah, yeah. You should still be good. I mean, honestly, it should say like by now. If it was like a recording date, like in January, it should say like um yeah, should already. I don't know. I mean, sometimes they go long. Like a pre-foreclosure could last over a year. I've seen
Yeah,
that happen too.
yeah,
So I'm assuming most likely she still has rights to it. Balance is probably ridiculous. The
yeah.
overdue balance, I mean, and is probably ridiculous and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't able to pull any numbers. There are
Oh, no,
situations
no,
like that
that's fine.
where you're able to easily, and then you can just call. But if you're, I would say if you're not, even when I pull numbers for properties, if I do get numbers and I know them work, I still, if it's close by, I don't mind driving at all. You
Mhm.
know.
Yeah,
Um.
I'm good with talking to them, see what they have to say. Now, another question. I noticed on Zillow, it always gives an estimate, like towards the bottom of, I guess, what would be the monthly payment. That's
Uh.
something that doesn't apply to us, right? Because the figures would be different, or does it apply to us? Right there, see the one that says 4160?
Oh, 4160. Yeah. No, I mean, that would just be just, um, I don't know. I forget. I mean, this is how they're getting their calculator here, but everything's different. So like, I mean, I wouldn't really, I mean, you could use this like a, kind of like a cheat sheet in a sense, but, I mean, you know, if you're financing, you're probably going to be like around that. It all depends. I mean, you got to see again, this is what they're calculating it off, the home price, down payment, all that kind of stuff to get that principal and interest there. And then you got to calculate the insurance, all that kind, property taxes. So that's what they're doing for you here.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Home insurance. There's no HOAs. It didn't look like a community like it had a HOA, so there's nothing for that. Utilities. Yeah, so that's all it really is. I mean, but then you'll find out. I mean, let's say if you're doing anything subject to that mortgage that she has,
Uh-huh.
then you would need to find, you got to find out the payment, how much she's, to get everything caught up. You got to find that. Maybe she's behind like 10,000. I don't know. You got to find
Mhm.
that out.
And
Um,
that's where I would get into the conversation with her and get like the last bank statement and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, it's kind of hard to get that on the first call. You just want the
Right,
first call
right.
essentially just knowing that what the situation is. If
Mhm.
it goes to like where it's like a 20-minute call, then and she's still talking to you and all that kind of stuff, then yeah, try to see like see if she feels comfortable. It's like a field type of situation, you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
so um, but yeah, so that's
Yeah, I don't want to scare her away in the first conversation. So yeah,
yeah.
I see what you're saying. Just have a decent conversation, kind of put my name out there and get her to consider me. But and maybe like you say, then based on the conversation, if we're still talking 20 minutes later, Maybe she's that interested that I
Yeah,
could.
maybe, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
To where you guys build enough rapport to where she would feel comfortable,
Right.
saying maybe not sharing it, but maybe of course like talking about it. It's like, oh, it's around here, like this is how much I'm behind. Then giving you rough estimates, so you could jot
Mhm.
that down so you have an idea.
Right.
That's mostly what would happen on that first call.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, do you have any other questions or?
No, you made my day with that information on the dates there. Everyone I was finding on Zillow, I was looking at the dates and thinking, man, I'm finding them too late. But okay,
Yeah.
that makes a huge difference. I'm glad you
Yeah,
clarified.
and what also helps too is like, I mean, I know I'm using PropStream, which is I pay like $99 a month for, but you could go on PropWire and you just have to make an account and it's free. You just again have to pay for the skip trace, but they will let you know who the seller is. So let's
Oh,
say
okay.
like if you see anything recent like that, let's say if you saw saw 5/14/2024 here, then
Uh-huh.
that means then yeah, obviously, then you'll go also here to transaction history, then you'll see it went from, let's say you'll see it went from her name to like another name, then okay, then yeah, that means it that's because this is the first thing that gets updated here, the sites
Okay.
that are data sites like this, because they're
Okay.
really on top of everything, so everything is pretty much up to date with the transactions and stuff like that. So you'll see that and then you'll know on Zillow, all right, then I'll check this one off. I can't do anything with that one because it just recently sold, you know.
Right. Right.
Um but yeah, hopefully, yeah. So, and let's see who else here. Jason. Um, okay. Jason, you there?
Thanks, Terrell. Thank you.
Yep, no worries.
Yeah,
Awesome. Alrighty, let's put that in here for you. It's in Ontario, Canada?
no,
Or Canada.
California, California.
California, so yeah.
I'm sorry, Fresno,
Oh,
Fresno,
correct,
California.
Fresno. So okay. Got it here. So this has okay, so this is the house here. Okay, so what's the story on this one here?
So I just came across this on some pre-foreclosure lists. It doesn't seem to be listed by an agent yet. Going through the
Okay.
loan history, looks like they've been struggling to get a loan. It went pre-foreclosure last year. They were able to get out pretty quickly, but it went back into pre-foreclosure again this year, and then they backed out of. Looks to me, look, they backed out of a loan, and that's been sitting that way for a couple months now. I'm trying to find it again. Sorry. I'm looking at
Yep.
PropStream. That's so yeah, default was in March 7th, and then they backed out of loan on March 18th, and doesn't look like it's moved since then. And it looks like it's in a trust, and supposedly has a loan. It's the trust is under a Quality Loan Service Corporation, so like loan servicing company. So I'm trying to figure out where exactly they might be on this and whether or not it's because based on what I see on PropStream, they have like 200,000 in equity. So I'm just trying to figure out if why they haven't moved to try to save the property.
Yeah, I see here Marlon and Patricia, trustees. Oh, that is took a credit line in 04. Yeah, I'm not sure. You would have to, we have to have a conversation with them. They don't live in the property. It says they don't live in the property here. It says
Yeah.
non-occupied. Yeah, I was just running comps here to see. I mean, we were built in 1925, so it's a little, pretty, it's an old house. I mean, let's see if you see anything all right, so past 12 months, let's say max 1950. Let's cut some properties out. Okay, all of them were built before 1950. Okay. Let's get a look here because it looks like there's an upstairs to the house. So I'll try to find a property that looks like it has 2 floors. Yeah, this has 2 floors there.
Yeah,
See if we can.
Fresno is a pretty old town. It's agricultural town, so you're gonna have a lot of customs and craftsman homes out there too.
Gotcha. Here's a home here. This one's a 3-2. We are a 3-1. 1244. So added another bathroom here. Let me see if this was a flip by chance. Built in the same year, 1925. I'm not sure if we have a garage, but they have a garage. Let's see. Last sale date before that was one for in 2010 for 138. Okay. It's really not not this one's wouldn't be really considered a flip. Let me see. I mean everything. I forgot to go to high to low. Oops. See what's been selling over here. But definitely I think you could get around the 300s for sure. Maybe mid threes, maybe a little bit lower than that. We only have one bath, so probably like maybe looking around like 320 or so. There's this one here. This one looks like it was a complete renovation, as you can see, before and after. So let's see what they bought it for. Um, they bought it for 216. So this is on the MLS. It's sold for 216, which is probably maybe a little bit higher than what you're maybe because again, it's you get those retail buyers since it's on market, they might be paying a little bit higher than a typical investor, but definitely in the twos, let's say, and then reselling it for 320. But I mean, we would have to call and see what the situation is. Maybe a cash transaction could work out where you could actually wholesale it or take it upon yourself to do the rehab. Just all depends.
Okay. Like I said, I'm just kind of muddling my way through and just happened to find this one. It looked like like I said, they've been struggling. They tried to pull off a loan and they backed out. So terms must have been horrible or thought they could shop around the deal, but they haven't moved on it since March. The normal foreclosure process, isn't it like 6 months, right?
Sometimes it could go sooner. It could be like as soon as like 3 months, 4 months until like I've seen that happen, and I've seen that happen where it's like over a year and nothing has happened. It's just constantly just getting, auction dates were set, auction dates happen. The date would be there, but then nothing happens, and it gets pushed back another month.
Okay.
So I've seen both. It just all depends. But yeah, they could
Okay.
happen. You could get notified, and then next say 3 months later, when it's an auction, it sells an auction, and then you're shit out of luck.
All right. I'll do some digging. I'll check it out. Thank you.
No worries. Sorry, I'm just texting my seller for this showing I'm going to. Next few minutes. Next few minutes to meet you guys at one. I have a seller appointment down here in Florida at 1 o'clock, and I also have a seller appointment with the buyers meeting the seller, to walk through the property and see where they could pay for the house in PA. So both have one virtually, and 1,000 miles away, it's in Pennsylvania, and I have one also in Florida. So it's funny, it's in the same time. But right now. I'm gonna call. I just texted the seller for the one in Florida, but now I'm gonna reach out to the buyer to see if he's still making his way for 1 o'clock. His name is Perry. So I'm gonna call Perry, say like, hey, it's Terry. Obviously, you should have my number saved by now. But yeah, I'm still just basically gonna confirm our time for 1 o'clock. He's meeting the seller, Ed. Ed thinks he's meeting me as well, but I'm just gonna make something up and be like, hey, look, I'm able to make it. Something came up, and my partner Perry's still on his way. He'd be like, okay, Terrell, thanks for the update, blah blah blah. That type of thing. So yeah, I'm calling Perry now. Hopefully he answers. If he doesn't answer, I'll send a text. I know he was supposed to see the house at 11, but he couldn't find a sitter for.
Hello?
Hey Perry, it's Terrell. Just wanted to see if you're still good for 1 o'clock today.
Yep. Yep. 1 o'clock. Yeah. One
Okay.
should still work. One, like I said, plus or minus. Is that
Yeah,
one-
yeah,
150?
yeah. Seller's staying in the house. It doesn't really is. I don't think is really working. So like, you're good to. He's in the house regardless if you show up a little bit early or not.
Or later, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It should just be 5-10 minutes later if we show up later. So.
Gotcha. Alrighty. And yeah, his name's Ed. I'll text you over his name.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a nice guy. Just let me know what you think afterwards, and then we'll see if we can make a deal happen here.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, we'll be in touch.
All right. Well done.
Yep. Bye. All right. So pretty much, what happened was, like I said, buyer's name is Perry. He's looking at the property in Pennsylvania as a fix and flip. I'm asking 235 for it. I have the contract for 225, so $10,000 right there. But yeah, obviously he has to be able to pay 235 or, I just have to see where he comes in at. So he's going to walk through it. He'll probably, take 10 minutes to walk through it with the seller, Ed, and probably give me an answer maybe within the hour, or maybe sometimes people take a little bit longer. Maybe it'll be like, maybe later today around, I don't know, like 4 o'clock, you'll call me back. It's like, all right, this is where we're at. And, I have to see if I can make a deal happen. Because sometimes, you have situations where, let's say I'm at 225, a buyer's at 230, or I'm asking 235. And let's say Perry walks through it today at 1 and he's at 215. Then that means I would have to be, try to first I'm trying to get him up, try to see if he's able to. Are you sure you're really at 215? Is there any way you could go up a little bit? Blah blah blah. If he's not able to go up, maybe he's able to go up to 220. I don't know. But let's say he's stuck at 215, then I have to try to renegotiate with Ed to be at, like, let's say 210, so I can make some money, make 5,000, be at 210, Perry's at 215, then we're all, good to go. But yeah, we'll see what happens. This isn't my first rodeo, as you guys know. So, I mean, either way, I'm trying to make it. I mean, I have this guy here, and I have another guy who offered me 210, but obviously I don't want to try to renegotiating yet. I want to see, I had somebody offer me 200, 205. I had another guy offer me 250, 210, and then hopefully Perry's able to, maybe third time's a charm. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So there's that. And then, yeah, and in about like 5-10 minutes, I'm gonna end this Zoom and then go to a house that's in about like an hour away from me. The situation on that, I told the group a little bit in the beginning of the Zoom. But anyway, it was a driving for dollars lead I have. Seller wants to downsize. Property that she lives at is pretty bad, needs about like 70 in work. She's going to use the cash from the transaction of her house in Clearwater, Florida, to buy the house that's in Newport Richey. I don't even have it up right now. It's in Newport Richey, which is about like an hour away from me, and it's all nice. It has a fence for dogs. Roof was just put on like earlier this week. HVAC was put on like February of 2024, so a few months ago. So everything's pretty good. It's in a nice neighborhood, good, low HOA. Things like $83 a month. But yeah, so we'll see what happens, and if everything checks out, she's willing to pull the trigger, then I'll get the paperwork and have her sign for her house, and then we'll close on her house, and then she'll have then we'll make an offer on the one that's in Newport Richey, Florida, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that lead was the driving for dollars lead, so just something simple, seeing a house, wasn't really driving for dollars. I was driving somewhere in Clearwater. I saw that house on the while I was driving. I pinned it on my phone. Ended up getting back, calling it later in the day, or I think whatever the next day. I forget how it happened, just a few months ago. But yeah, and now we're, fast forward to August, and possibly something could happen with that. There'll be a good deal. Resale value, if I buy it at 290, resale value would be like 515, 525 if I put like 70 into it. So we'll see what happens.
What made you pin it?
So it was pretty beat up. Let me see if I think I have a picture of it. Hold on. The garage was messed up. It just looked a whole bunch of shit out front, that type of thing, So let me just see if
I gotcha. Just
yeah,
look beat up,
yeah,
tall
just
grass, all that
yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff. But yeah, she's an elderly lady. It's somewhere in her 70s. And but yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys, let me see if I can. Hard to see, but like the garage is messed up. There's a whole bunch of stuff like out by her car, like but that front porch area. So like I don't know. And then yeah, so it needs a lot of work. Roof is messed up too, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that could be my first potential flip. Numbers are good for like a 30% return too, maybe a little bit more too, if I'm lucky. But yeah, so that's it for me. Anything else? Anything last minute before we end the Zoom here in the next few minutes?
Just real quick, the True People search, that was .com net or
Yeah,
IO.
yeah. Cheappeoplesearch.com.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, no problem.
When's the next Zoom you're having, Terrell?
Next Zoom would be on Monday, 11 to 12.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be
Yeah,
waiting.
Monday, 11. So, yeah, I'm always Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 to 12. It's hour Zoom, try to get as much as I can. I mean, my Zooms really aren't, my Zooms are, if for people who join my Zooms, they're all over the place. It's a different subject every time. I talk about like what I got going on. People talk about what they got going on, if they need any help with that. And then we'll lead into other topics. I never really have like a set topic, like, oh, today is only we're going to discuss, finding, I don't know, off market properties. And then it's the whole Zoom, like, it's all over the place, which I mean, I don't know if people like that. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not really, I really don't care to set like, a topic for every Zoom, you know what I mean? That's just how I am.
No, as far as I'm concerned, I like it. I think it's nice to know that somebody like you is available.
Yeah,
Because for us that are learning, it's like, okay, I'll wait for Terrell and I'll ask him that question.
yeah.
So
And
I
and again,
appreciate
if you, yeah, of course. And if you guys need anything from me, you could always reach out on Discord. Here's my Discord name or whatever.
Okay.
Antonio next Zoom call sell. Yeah, I could do that. I usually, I do that. I mean, this only made one call today, and that was to the buyer. So the buyer is going to be there in 1 hour to look at the house. But yeah, I usually call sellers. Usually sometimes like in like 30 minutes, I'll probably call Ed for that house in PA, be like, hey, look, Ed, I'm Perry's on his way. I got stuck behind doing blah blah blah. But yeah, he's still gonna be there. And he'll be like, okay, thanks, Terrell. And then that'll be it. Cause I always do that for whenever I do a deal virtually like that, I always make up some excuse like, I plan to be there, but then something comes up the day of, but my end buyer, could be Chris, could be Perry, could be, Eric, but he's still on his way. But so it doesn't get it canceled. Um, yeah, of course. Join me 11 to 12. If you guys will ever want to do like one-on-ones, I mean, we could try to make that happen too. I know Eric does some one-on-ones. I don't have no problem doing that. My schedule's pretty open. I work for myself. So I mean, pretty much, let's say for today, like I never, like every day is different for me. Obviously, I host the Zoom meetings from 11 to 12 on Fridays, but like I have a appointment um, at 1 that probably will take me an hour to get back. I'll probably be free around like 4, but then I'm like, after 4, I might go pickleballing with my friends at like 6 or something, so that's for today. But yesterday I was over in like West Chase, which is like in Tampa, doing I had an appointment in West Chase. And then what else did I do? I think I was pretty much free after like 2 yesterday, because I didn't do anything. It rained all day. It was pretty miserable. Um, yeah, it's been raining a lot, a few days. But yeah, so like today is a pickleball day for me. And after I finish the appointment, and maybe I might make a few more calls, and that's it. I did make a call to a seller today. I have a situation where it's like an off-market lead that an agent brought to my desk. I only known the agent for like maybe 3 weeks. I told him, I told him basically who I am, what I do, not wholesale wise, but just like, I sound like, I make myself sound like a fix and flipper. So he kept my information. He told me hit me up on this past Saturday about a house that's in Pinellas Park. So it's off market, lady divorced her husband and is planning to relocate. And he told me about it. So I ended up going to the property on Tuesday. And I'm at like I want originally at 225. But then I went up to 230 because she didn't want to go lower than 230. That's the seller. Didn't want to go lower. Her name is Brittany. So I have it for 230. I don't have the contract as of yet. The I basically have the contract. He has to draft it up, the agent. But I have a buyer who walked through the property with me Thursday. it's funny. I pull up. This guy pulls up in a Cybertruck. It's like, so, you know, all nice white wrap and everything. But anyway, he sees the property. He's willing to do 235. The only issue is, I mean, it's this is my first time dealing with this situation because right now I have like I can make $5,000 right then and there. Once you know she needs to close by August 26th to give her enough time to move and relocate to I think she's moving to like an apartment with her kids because she can't because you know her and her husband are splitting up for the house. But anyway, um, oh yeah, so she has solar, and I mean, I don't really know too much about solar, but I know from I guess from this buyer who had the Cybertruck and who walked through the property with me, and also a few of my other buyers, like she's paying like the loan for. I mean, unless she got it like she got a new roof in 2023, and then she also got solar in 2023. The loan amount, she took a loan for 75,000 just on that, you know, and then her monthly payments like 302 on for the solar payments. So it's like, I mean, it's just a lot, you know? So like, let's say hypothetically, you know, the buyer flips the house, sells it for 340, 345, because that's what I have the ARV at. The next person who's gonna have the solar has that is gonna have to assume that mortgage of that 70,000, you know what I mean? So it's like you're really not only you're not paying for a $350,000 house, you're paying for like, you know, 410,000 house in a sense, you know. But I'm gonna try calling doing a three-way call at 4 today with the seller and it's gonna be me, the seller, and the end buyer to see if we could do anything to get out of that situation. Like, you know, I don't know if she has to pay a penalty for breaking the loan with the solar company, or we have to try to figure something out here. So that's what we're gonna do because that solar, I would have the deal already signed and stuff like that, maybe by like Thursday if this whole solar thing didn't happen. So like now we have to try to figure out what we could do because the buyer doesn't want to deal with that headache when it comes to relisting it. You know what I mean? So yeah, and there's no yeah. I mean what do you mean like no cash? Like you're meaning for the? Can you elaborate on that? You mean like if he were to like? Yeah, what do you mean? It would just be a fix and flip opportunity. Like he would buy it from me for 235. I have it for 230. He just the agent hasn't sent it to me because he wants me to figure out the situation with the solar. So I have it for 230 and my buyer's at 235, but it's contingent upon the oh yeah, okay, I gotcha. But yeah, this would be just a fix and flipper. He's looking to you know, just renovate it and then resell it for like 340 to 350. I recently, and then he just recently sold a property. He closed on it like a flip that he did like last month. It was like July 10th or something like that. So I called him up as like because that would be a perfect buyer because like oh he just flipped one a month ago down the road. So like he might be in the mindset of buying another one in the same street. So that's what I called him, and then the rest is history. But yeah, that's what he's planning on doing. And also too, when I conversed, because I talked to the seller Brittany, and she basically she said she'll be free around 4, so we're trying to make it for like 4:30, you know, make that call. I have to call the buyer to see if he's available too, so we could all make it happen here. But I never had but after that Brittany was saying like is it when you guys are finished with the flip, even though I'm not flipping it, she doesn't know that. She thinks I'm the end buyer. Like we're both me and the Cybertruck guy are partners. But she was like, can I see what you had what you know what the finished product is after you guys, you know, are done? Like I had so many visions for this house and it'll be cool to see what you guys do to it, blah blah blah. So I said yeah. So like I'll reach out, you know, out of good faith when it's all done. Hopefully we're able to get the deal today or whatever. Like, you know, 2-3 months. I said it's probably take about 2-3 months to do the flip, and then once it's all said and done, we'll have you walk through and, you know, let me know what you think. I talked to my buyer. My buyer is planning on adding the master bedroom is really big, so he's planning on adding another bathroom because right now it's a 3-1 with like 1,400 square feet. So he wants to add another bathroom like in the master bedroom, like an ensuite, to make it a 3-2. So that to possibly help help the ARV a little bit too. But yeah. So and then she said, "Oh, that'd be awesome." Blah blah blah, and then we'll you know So yeah, I just gotta call my buyer to see if he's available for 4:30 and to make that happen. I think he should be, but who knows? But yeah, Michael, I am heading out. I apologize. I got an appointment at 1. It's an hour away, so I gotta get going. So If you want, you can message me on Discord. I could give you my take afterwards.
All right, well, it's just real quick. I'm not calling anybody. I just want to know, like, bro. So I've been trying to get in touch with these people, and I can't. Like, do you have any other options other than True People Search, or like what else? How else would you find out who?
It's either True People Search or PropStream. Those are the only two options. If they're, that's the only two options I do. And if it's close by and they still don't work, then I would just physically drive it there. But I know you're not in New Orleans. I know you visit New Orleans, but you could always try going there when you're there in person.
Yeah, I could send somebody to knock at the door or something like that. All right,
That's
I'll do that next because I called the law firm. I can't get. They don't answer. I think it's because it's out of state number. But yeah, I've been calling on and off since you skip traced it or whatever the other day.
Yeah, I got you.
And, but yeah, I'm gonna send somebody over there next. I was just wondering if you knew anything else to do.
Yeah. So it's always three options for me. True People Search first. I mean, if it's a bulk search, then it's like, if it's like all pre-foreclosures in like in this part of New Orleans, then I do PropStream because it's annoying to do one by one. But if you're doing a single skip search, then yeah, I would try True People Search. And then if that doesn't work, then PropStream. If that doesn't work, then going there in person. But like, you're 1,000 miles away. So, so
I'm excited by like boots on the ground. I'm gonna send them over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So hopefully that works for you. And then just keep me posted on that.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Yep, you as well. Everyone else, have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna go to my seller appointment. Hopefully, able to get everything done.
All right, thanks, Terrell.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything.
Thank
Yep.
you.
See you later, Brody.
Later.